Hi everyone, Mr. Filsick here. I just wanted to quick introduce what you'll be doing in class today. You should have already answered the Catalyst questions in Google Classroom and gone over them. Today, guys, you're going to learn how to evaluate sources, and you're going to do this up in the Global Learning Studio with Mrs. Habiger. So basically, the reason you're doing this, guys, is a big part of the project you're going to start working on this week is about researching and finding good information online about your products that you're researching. So it's really important to know how to find a good source and how to defend why it's a good source. You're also going to learn from Mrs. Habiger how to cite a source. She's going to help you install something on your computer that helps you cite sources, another really important research skill. Then the last half of class or so, you can begin finding and evaluating sources for your research project that answer your big three questions about whatever product you've been assigned. So here's the video for me. Once again, I kind of just explained this. You're going to learn how to evaluate sources, cite your sources. You will be getting a responsibility and a respect grade based on my feedback from from the substitute teacher about your performance up there. So how well were you staying on task, completing your work without having to have an adult correcting your behavior? For respect and for responsibility, and for respect, you're going to be graded on how well were you giving respect to your classmates and the teachers by not being a distracting influence. So before I explain this slide, I want a quick pause. I need you right now to take out your computers, and before you go up to the GLS with Mrs. Habiger, I need you to get a couple things open for me, okay? So I want you to go to Google Classroom, whichever period you are, and whoever's the substitute teacher, feel free to pause the video to let kids catch up with this. But go to Google Classroom, go to the classwork tab, and you're going to go to assignment 13. It says sources for synthetics project. I'm going to go ahead and open that. What this is, guys, is it's a Google Slides with each of your synthetic products on it. So for example, on slide 3, if you have polyethylene, here's a bunch of sources that you could use potentially on your project once you start researching. And there's a slide for every product. However, I want you to start right now on slide 2. So when you go up to the GLS, you should open your computer and already be on slide 2. Mrs. Habiger is going to use these two sources as examples of sources that you're going to evaluate. So she's going to need you to be on this slide to start the lesson. So make sure that is the case, and you should be all set. When you're all done, so when you're all done with the lesson, so Mrs. Habiger has already taught you how to use the CRAP test. She's taught you how to cite sources. The rest of the class is yours to get started working on finding good sources. That's when you can use the rest of the slideshow. You can go down, let's say if you're synthetic rubber, you can go to the slide 11 and look at all the possible sources I have there for you. You don't have to just use these sources, guys, and you don't have to use all of them by any means, but you can use other sources outside of these, but this is like a good place to start. The second half of class, guys, you're going to go back to Google Classroom and open up assignment 14 called CRAP Test Your Sources. And this is where you're going to start CRAP testing your own sources. So you're going to link the source, one of the sources on this slideshow that you want to start with, and you're going to evaluate all these different things right here about what makes it a good source, include a citation down here. Your goal is to find at least 2 sources that pass the CRAP test by the end of class today. If you don't finish this, you don't need to do it for homework. You're going to keep working on it in class on Thursday or Friday. But keep in mind, the sooner you get through all this stuff, the sooner you can get to actually making your poster, which is kind of like the product portion of this project. Hope that all made sense. If it didn't, feel free to rewind and rewatch it to make sure it all made sense. But the important thing you need to know right now is before you go up to the Makerspace, to the Global Learning Studio, you need to have the assignment number 13 open, and it needs to be open to slide number 2. Make sense? Good. Hope you have an enjoyable time in the GLS, guys. Be in your best behavior. I want to hear from Mrs. Habiger that you guys were the best, because I know you are. And I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.